has shown that a person's character isn't really established until he's at least 5 years old.
But I am 5. I'm more than 5.
Well, that's just the way it goes.
The only thing wrong with my big brother, Charlie Brown, is his lack of confidence. His inferiority and his lack of confidence. His clumsiness, his inferiority and his lack of confidence. His stupidity, his clumsiness, his inferiority and his lack of confidence. His...
You're the kind of reminder we need. Did you know that Charlie Brown has never pitched a winning baseball game, never been able to keep a kite in the air, never won a game of checkers, and never successfully punted a football? You know, sometimes I marvel at his consistency.
I think Charlie Brown has nice hands.
It is truly a dog's life, filled with many challenges. You try acting excited when that brown-headed kid comes home from school.
Now, Linus, I want you to take a good look at Charlie Brown's face. Would you please hold still a minute, Charlie Brown? I want Linus to study your face. Now, this is what you would call a failure face. Notice how it is failure written all over it. Study it carefully. Notice the deep lines, the dull, vacant look in the eyes. Yes, I would say this is one of the greatest cases of a failure face that you're liable to see for a long while.
Some days I wake up early and I like to watch the sunrise. And I get a very positive feeling about things. And I think about how my life lies before me. Like this morning, for instance. The sky is so clear and the sun so bright. How could anything go wrong on a day like this? I'm late!
You're a
lunchtime is the worst time of day for me. Always having to sit here, alone. Of course, there are mornings too. Waking up, wondering if anyone will really miss you if you never get out of bed. Then there are nights too, lying there, thinking about all the stupid things I did during the day, and the hours in between, when I do all those stupid things. Well, lunchtime is among the worst times of day for me. I better see what I have for lunch. Peanut butter. Some psychiatrists say that people who eat peanut butter are lonely. And I guess they're right. And when the peanut butter sticks to the roof of your mouth, you're really lonely. Boy, the PTA sure did a good job painting these benches. Look, there's a little red-haired girl over there. I wonder what would happen if I went up to her and asked her if I could sit and have lunch with her. She'd probably laugh right in my face. It's hard when the face even gets laughed in. There's an empty seat next to her. I can just go up and ask her. There isn't any reason why I shouldn't go up and ask her. All I have to do is stand up. I'm standing up. I'm sitting down. I'm a coward. I'm such a coward, she wouldn't even think to look at me. She hardly ever does look at me. In fact, I can't remember her ever looking at me. Why shouldn't she look at me? Is there any reason in the world why she shouldn't look at me? Is she so great and I so small she can't spare one little moment and... She's looking at me. She's looking at me.
Oh, Sally, you're dressed as a woman who's sickness party. The one that I'm talking about is the very light blue one with the white waist.
I don't remember.
It looks something like this.
It had the big puffy sleeves, embroidered lace, and had a big skirt like that.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, well, I was wearing that when I met Frida, and she said she saw one just like it over in the other place.
Lunchtime is among the worst times of day for me. If that little red-haired girl's looking at me with this stupid bag on my head, she probably thinks I'm the biggest fool alive. But if she isn't looking, I can take the bag off my head, and maybe she'd never notice. But if I do take it off, I'll know if she's looking or not. On the other hand, if I don't take it off, I won't have to know if she's looking at me or not. On the other hand, it's getting very hard to breathe in here. She's not looking at me. I wonder why she never looks at me. Oh well, another lunch hour over with. Only 2,863 to go. All I need is one more try. Gotta get that kite to fly. And I'm not the kind of guy who gives up easily.
Beethoven is nice. Just imagine what would you think if someday you and I should get married? Wouldn't you think that if someday we two should get married? My Aunt Marion was right. Never try to discuss marriage with a musician.
Happiness is a fleeting thing, Sally, but I think a man can really come closer to it by directing the forces of his life towards one single goal that he believes in. And I believe that a man's personal search for happiness isn't really a selfish thing either, because by achieving happiness for himself, he can help others to find it. Does that make sense to you?
We had spaghetti at our house 3 times this week.
You know, a princess sort of thing. A white gown and a big ballroom. That's sort of silly now, isn't it, Charlie Brown?
No, not at all. I mean, well, we all have our little daydreams or ambitions, or whatever you want to call them. I mean, me, I've had one myself that I've never told anyone before.
What is it, Charlie Brown? You can tell me.
No, I don't think I should. It's not the sort of thing I should tell.
Come on, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Well, okay. I've always wanted to be called Flash. I hate the name Charlie. I'd be good at everything, and everyone would call me Flash. I'd be real athletic, and I'd be known in the school as Flash. And
Rita, listen to this.
what's the matter, Sally?
Well, I don't know. I was jumping rope and it was all right. Suddenly, it all seemed so futile.
Beethoven always used to be so fond of taking long walks in the country. He was always inspired by the beautiful sounds of the countryside.
You want that big measure with that pencil?
Beethoven had a nice.
I think I'm losing my flavor.
Hey, Snoopy, we're home from school.
What?
Hi there, fella. Gosh, it's good to see you.
Oh, Snoopy, you're so adorable.
Okay, Snoopy, back in your doghouse. I'll be out later with your supper.
I think Snoopy's a wonderful dog, Jeff.
Me too. He's just about the best there is.
They like me, I think they're swell. Isn't it remarkable how things turn out so well? Pleasant day
myself. I think I'll introduce myself, and I'll ask her to sit down and have lunch with me. She'll sit and have lunch with me, and I'll tell her how much I've always admired her. And I think I can flap my arms and fly to her.
Yesterday, I was a dog. Today, I'm a dog. Tomorrow, I'll probably still be a dog. There's just so little hope for advancement.
Today is April Fool's Day, Charlie Brown. I think I'll try a little trick. Yes, I think I'll try just a little trick. You do understand what I'm saying, don't you? You understand that today is April Fool's Day? You're sure? I want you to be 100% sure you understand me, Charlie Brown. Hey, Charlie Brown, guess what? That little red-headed girl is over there, and she wants to give you a big hug and kiss.
Wow, that's fantastic!
April Fools! Just like shooting fish in a barrel.
Snoopy, you see the stick? I, the human being, will throw the stick. You, the dog, will retrieve it.
I, the dog, could not be less interested.
I got it! You give me back my blanket! No, I'm taking it and I'm keeping it. This is just the start you need to break your bad habits.
Apparently, you have related scientific reports. A blanket is just as important to a child as a hobby is to an adult. Many men spend his time restoring antique automobiles, building model trains, collecting old telephones, or even studying about the Civil War. This is called life pass. Really? Certainly. And this is good for helps men to cope with their everyday problems. Now I feel it's going to be absolutely necessary for me to have my blanket back. So I'm just going to give it a good kick. It's surprising what you can accomplish with a little smooth talking and some fast action. Got you back again. Delightful. Sucking your thumb without a blanket. It's like eating a cone without ice cream. My blanket and me.
You guys take a look at this.
I love you, I love you, I love you.
Look at my little baby brother Linus with his little baby blanket.
There's your little baby brother with his silly blanket.
Well, you know how babies are with their blankets.
What do you mean? It's a cozy sanctuary, but it's far from necessary, 'cause I'm just as self-reliant as before. As a simple demonstration of my independent station, I will go and leave my blanket on the floor. Yes, I'll walk away and leave it, though I know you won't believe it. I'll just walk away and leave it on the floor. La 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 la
Linus, do you know that I intend to be queen. When I grow up, I'm going to be the biggest queen there ever was, and I'll live in a big palace with a big front lawn, and all the people will cheer, and I will shout at them.
Lucy, I believe queen is an inherited title. And I'm quite sure you can only become queen by being born into the correct family of the correct lineage. I don't think there's any possible way for you to ever become queen. I'm sorry, Lucy, but it's true.
And in the summertime, I will go to my summer palace, and I will wear my crown and swimming and everything, and all the people will cheer, and I will shout at them. What do you mean I can't be queen? It's true. There must be some sort of loophole. This sort of thing always has a loophole. No one should be kept from being queen if they want to be one. It's undemocratic. Good grief. It's usually just a matter of knowing the right people. I bet a few pieces of well-placed correspondence and I'll be able to be queen in no time.
I think I'll just watch television.
I know what I'll do. If I can't become queen, then I will become very rich. Yes, I will work and work until I'm very rich, and I will buy myself a queendom. Yes, I will buy myself a queendom, and I will kick out the old queen and take over the whole operation myself. I will become head queen.
Good grief.
Hey, now switch channels.
Are you kidding? I'm not one of your royal subjects. What makes you think you can just come in here and take over?
These 5 fingers. Individually, they are nothing. But when I curl them together into a single unit, they become a fighting force terrible to behold.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Supper time?
Not yet.
Supper time?
Not yet.
A C? I got a C on my coat hanger sculpture? How can anyone get a C in coat hanger sculpture? May I ask a question? Was I judged on the piece of sculpture itself? If so, is it not true that time alone can judge a work of art? Or is I judged my talent? If so, is it right that I be judged on a part of life which I had no control? If I judge on my effort, then I am judged unfairly, for I tried as hard as I could. Perhaps I was being judged on what I learned about this project. Then are not you, my teacher, also being judged on your ability to transmit your knowledge to me? Are you willing to share my seat? Perhaps I was being judged on the quality of the coherence itself, out of which my creation is made. Now is this not also unfair? Am I to be judged by the quality of coherence that are used by the dry cleaning establishment that returns our garments? Is that not the responsibility of my parents? Should they not share my seat? Thank you, Miss Alvar. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Little more rope, little more weight, little more hope. Gotta get this stupid kite to fly. Gotta make sure it doesn't snap, doesn't droop, doesn't drag. Gotta watch out for every little whoops. Let's see, little more tack, let's rise, a little more slack. Gotta keep my wits about me now. Gotta make sure it doesn't get the best of me till I get in the air somehow. Millions of little kids do it every day. They make a kite and poop it's in the sky. Leave it to me to have the one full kite. guy who likes to see a little kid cry. A little less talk, a little more skill, a little less luck, a little more will. Gotta face this fellow, I do who I. Now that I've seen you chasing birds, climbing trees, bitch, catching a string on everything passing by. Why not fly? Wait a minute. What's it doing? It isn't on the ground. It isn't in a tree. It's in the air. Look at that. It's caught the breeze now. It's past the trees now. With room to spare. Oh, what a beautiful sight. And I'm not such a clumsy guy. If I really try, I can really fly.
How are you today, Sally? I'm mad! I'm mad at the whole world!
Are you mad at everybody in the whole world?
I'm mad at everybody! Are you mad at the trees and the flowers and the birds and the fish? I'm mad at everything!
Are you mad at the sky and the stars? Are you mad at the ground? Are you mad at all the cars and buildings and TV and circuses and roller skates and bracelets?
You didn't mention jump ropes.
Are you mad at jump ropes?
I'm especially mad at stupid jump ropes!
This is for you, Lucy. Happy Valentine's Day. No, that doesn't sound right. Happy Valentine's Day, Lucy. This is for you. You can do it if you don't get nervous. Happy Valentine's Day, Lucy. This is for you. This is for you, Lucy. Merry Christmas. I'd give anything if the little red-haired girl sent me a Valentine. Maybe she did send me one. Maybe it's in our mailbox right now. But if she didn't send me one, I'll be crushed. I'm afraid to look. But if she did send me one, I have to look. Hello?
Hello.
Nothing echoes like an empty mailbox.
I've been thinking about why you didn't get any Valentine's, big brother. I think I figured it out. You didn't get any Valentine's because nobody sent you any.
Look at them, enjoying their Valentines. I sent them. I sent a Valentine to everyone I know this Valentine's Day. And did I get any in return? No. Not one. Nobody likes me. I get as many Valentines as a dog. I don't feel good. Oh, Lucy, I'm so depressed. Everything is going wrong. I don't know what to do.
Sorry to hear that, Charlie Brown. Maybe I can help you in some way. I think what you need most of all is to come right out and admit all the things that are wrong with you.
Are you sure that will help?
Certainly.
All right. I'll try it. I'm not very handsome or clever or lucid. I've always been stupid at spelling and numbers. I've never been much playing football or stickball or marbles or checkers or marbles or ping pong. I'm usually awful at parties and dances. I stand like a stick or I cough or I laugh or I don't bring a present or I spill the ice cream or I get so depressed that I stand and I scream. Oh, how could there possibly be one small person as thoroughly, totally, utterly blah as me?
Well, that's okay for a starter.
A starter?
Certainly. You don't think that listing these few superficial failings is going to do you any good, do you? But Charlie Brown, you really have to delve. You're stupid, self-centered, and moody.
I'm moody.
You're terribly dull to be with.
Yes, I am. And nobody likes me, not Frida or Shermie or Linus or Schroeder
Or Lucy.
or Lucy
Or Snoopy.
or... Wait a minute. Snoopy likes me.
He only pretends to like you because you feed him. That doesn't count.
Or Snoopy. Oh, why was I born just to be one small person as thoroughly, totally, utterly?
Wait! You're not very much of a person.
That's certain.
And yet there is reason for hope.
There's hope.
For although you are no good at music like Schroeder, or happy like Snoopy, or lovely like me, you have the distinction to be no one else but the singular, remarkable, unique Charlie Brown.
I'm me.
Yes, it's amazingly true. For whatever it's worth, Charlie Brown, you're
You know what, Lucy? I'm beginning to feel better already. You're a true friend, Lucy. A true friend.
It'll be 5 cents, please.
I couldn't decide if I wanted fudge marble, rocky road, chocolate, vanilla, or butter pecan. I finally decided on fudge marble. Then I had to choose between a plain cone and a sugar cone. I finally decided on a sugar cone. Then what happened? I was at the door. I got the whole thing on the sidewalk. Don't tell me my life isn't a Shakespearean tragedy.
Today's my grandfather's birthday.
How old is he?
63. It's hard to believe he was once a human being.
Why is it I always have to have my supper in the red dish and my drinking water in the yellow dish? One of these days I
art. Do you hear me? An art! 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 Art!
You fascinate me. What?
Call the principal and hand him the news. We've got a holiday that he can't refuse. A day of harmony, a day of music. Beethoven's birthday.
Beethoven Day.
A reverential mention.
Beethoven Day?
The hope of these musicians. No more am I the only guy to stand up and say, hooray, Beethoven, hooray.
Beethoven Day?
Yes, as Ludwig van Beethoven, composer, born 1770, died 1827, the eldest of the three sons. Ludwig's mother was the daughter of the chief
Whatever, Schroeder. I just want you to know that I'm on your side publicity-wise. I want to do everything I can to help you advertise Beethoven's birthday.
Thanks for your support, Lucy, but I just don't want to see Beethoven's birthday commercialized.
Commercialized.
Yes, the next thing you know, they'll be selling Beethoven t-shirts.
Beethoven Day.
If you're wondering now how do we start, just blow the music till you know it by heart. We're gonna celebrate, we'll have a party, Beethoven's birthday. And when you say the title, you hear a great recital. Right up there, boys and girls, stand up and say, hooray, Beethoven, hooray. Beethoven Day. 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 A philharmonic rumble. A polyphonic jumble. A humble dedication as we stand up and say, hooray, Beethoven, hooray.
I got it. We'll demand full-page ads in every newspaper.
Well, sir, change Beethoven's
We're the Beethoven Day Party.
We can have a big set!
Let's do commercial! Let's imagine a glorious hour, filled with emotion, yet inspired with power. When we all honor the men we adore, on the day he plays the newest face on Mount Rushmore.
Beethoven Day.
A moment of reflection. Our classical injection. So crazy misdirection. We began in here. Everybody stand up and say, hooray!
Alright, everybody, out for rabbit chasing.
Oh, good grief!
Come on, Snoopy, it's a magnificent day for rabbit chasing. The air is clear, and the sun is shining. The fields and woodlands lie open and inviting.
If it's such a magnificent day, why spoil it for rabbits?
Come on, Snoopy. Where's the old trail? What kind of dog are you anyway?
I am a sleeping dog. You take it from there. You should be ashamed of yourself, wasting a perfect day like this. The air is fresh and the scent is clear. Let's go catch a big old rabbit. Well, I guess if you would dare to turn
Sometimes, when you're depressed, all you want to do is put your hand on your head and stare out into the distance. This can go on for hours, unless you're unusually depressed. Then once in a while, you can switch hands.
Schroeder,
Yes.
what did you do with that picture of me that I gave you?
Oh, I threw it away.
Your own hands?
Of course.
He touched my picture.
Today's been a bad day for me. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, tomorrow will be a better one.
In some parts of the world, today is tomorrow. And tomorrow is yesterday. If tomorrow is already today, Charlie Brown, then there's no way that tomorrow can be a better day.
You're fun to have around.
Singing rabbit, singing rabbit.
A book report on Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit.
Book report on Peter
Peter Rabbit is a stupid book about a stupid rabbit who steals vegetables from other people's gardens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 83 to go?
The name of the book about which this book report is about is Peter Rabbit, which is about this rabbit. I found it very. I liked the part where it was it reminded me of Robin Hood. And the part where Little John jumped from the rock to the sheriff of Nottingham's back. And then Robin and everyone drove through the trees in a sudden surprise attack. And they captured the sheriff and all his goods and they carried him back to the camp in the woods. And the sheriff was getting the dinner and all. And they wriggled away. The sound of the call, the men rushed in and the arrows flew. Peter Rabbit did sort of that kind of thing too.
The other people's name was McGregor. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Work such as Peter Rabbit, it is important that the superficial characteristics of its deceptively simple life should not be allowed to blind the reader to the more substantial fabric of its deeper motivations. In this report, I plan to discuss the sociological implications of pressure so great as to drive an otherwise moral rabbit to perform acts of thievery which he consciously knew were against the law. I also hope to explore the personality of Mr. McGregor and his conflicting roles as farmer and humanitarian. Peter Rabbit from the
If
start.
I start writing now when I'm not really rested, it could upset my thinking, which is no good at all. I'll get a fresh start tomorrow and it's not due till Wednesday, so I'll have all of Tuesday unless something should happen. Why does this always happen? I should be outside playing, getting fresh air and sunshine. I work best under pressure, and there'll be lots of pressure if I wait till tomorrow. I should start writing now, but if I start writing now when I'm not really rested, it could upset my thinking, which is no good at all.
The name of the rabbit was Peter. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yes!
Down came a staff on his head, crash! And Robin fell like a sack full of mud, crash! And there flapped, and he left it for dead. Ah! But he was wrong.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Just then an arrow flew in, whee! It was a sign for the fight to begin, see? And then it looked like the sheriff would win, ah! But not for long. Away they ran. Just like rabbits who run a lot, as you can tell from the story of Peter Rabbit, which this report is about.
How do they expect us to write a book report?
They were back studies in the
Just why do they conspire to make life so miserable and so effectively in so many ways?
The extreme pressure exerted on him by his deeply rooted rivalry with Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail.
And they were very, 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 very happy to be home. 94, 95. The very, very, very end.
A book report on Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit,
Just
Peter Rabbit,
I haven't even started yet. Peter
There's the world goes on Friday. I was running in Soccer Camel, searching for the infant Red Ferret. I must bring him down. Suddenly, anti-aircraft fire, archery, college begins to burst beneath my legs. The Red Ferret is coming me. Actually, top liners never say I just drag this fog and bad enough to have to fight the Red Baron with a helmet flying weather like this. All right, Red Baron, where are you? You can't hide forever. The sun is poking through. I can see the little concept below. I want that.
Why are you telling me?
What?
Why are you telling me?
Why are you telling me? I like it. What are you telling me? My new philosophy. That teacher gave a D on last week's homework. She said, Miss Sally Brown, your grades are going down. I could have told her.
Your new
My
philosophy.
new philosophy. Miss B, I'm G. Look, see. A D, a D. Well, why are you telling me? And that's my new philosophy.
Well, that's great, Sally, but I gotta go practice Chopin's Nocturne and B flat minor.
No! I like it. No! That's a good philosophy. No! No! No!
That's your new philosophy, huh?
Yes! I mean, no! Just like a recipe, my new philosophy can fly from tree to tree and keep me moving. When life's a distant maze, on alternating days, I choose a different phrase.
Your new
My
philosophy.
new philosophy.
Now, Sally, some philosophies are simple. Man does not live by bread alone. Some philosophies are clear.
Think that's the sound of the tone?
Some philosophies pick and choose, deciding what goes in, and some take a lifetime.
Mine take minutes.
But Sally, anything that takes only a minute can't be very lasting. For instance, it took Beethoven over 2 years to complete his famous Ninth Symphony.
No!
I can't stand it!
I can't stand it! I like it! It's like a guarantee. My new philosophy. And things are sure to be a whole lot brighter. Oh yeah, that's what you think. Why are you telling me? No! I can't stand it! Now life is free and easy. Much more philosophy with my brand new. You know, someone once said that we should live each day as if it's the last day of our lives. Today's the last day? I only have 24 hours left! Someone help me! Help me! Somebody! Clearly, some philosophies aren't for all people. And that's my new philosophy.
All right, gang. I want this to be the biggest and the best game of the season. I want everyone to play out there with everything he's got. And
Charlie Brown has a new strategy for you. Why don't we tell the one team they're going to be at a certain place, although it's not the real place, and when they don't show up, we win by forfeit. Isn't that a good strategy, Charlie Brown? Don't understand these managers who don't want to use a good strategy.
what we have to remember is spirit and teamwork. If we really grit our teeth and bear down the truth,
That team was trash talking us, Charlie Brown. But I got even with him. I said, you think you're so cool? Mozart was writing symphonies when he was your age! That really shut him up.
I bet it did. If we really grit our teeth and bear down, I'm sure we can finish off the season with...
Perhaps you should be playing manager, Chuck. Perhaps you should be bench manager.
That's a good idea. You'd make a great bench manager, big brother. You can say, bench do this or bench do that. You can even be in charge of where we put the bench. When we get to the playing field, you can say, let's put the bench here or let's put the bench there.
I can't stand it.
There was a million to one chance we might win. It'll make some sense.
Yeah.
Well, there might not be a million to one chance, but I'm sure there's at least a billion to one chance.
Yeah!
Give me a T.
Hey!
Give me an E.
Yeah!
It's hard to believe what happened today at the baseball game. I was the manager, Schroeder was catcher, and all of the team was the same as always. But somehow or other, disaster struck at the baseball game. Huddle up!
All right, what's our game plan? What's it?
See what I mean?
Three balls, two strikes. The bases were loaded with two men out. He pitched his curve, but somehow they hit a good, strong glove. Lucy, I hollered, it's coming right to you. She caught it as easy as pie, then dropped it. I don't think it's good for a team's morale to see their manager cry.
Fighting a runner, catching a ball in his teeth. Linus got flies from a third-story window by holding his blanket beneath.
Yes, we had fortitude, no one could argue with us. And one run would win us the game as I came up to bat.
Alright, Chuck. Roll behind, sort of. From a heavy kick pitch, we will show grandma. We're the best team. They're down. They're down. First, watch my
No time, we'll be big time, like family baseball stars. For all we have to do is win just one more game.
And the championship is ours.
Then we're on with 2 outs and me with 1 strike to go. Then I saw her, this cute little redheaded girl. I go. Firmly I vowed I would win it for her, and I shouldered my bat and I swung. Dear pen pal, I'm told where you live is very quite far. Could you please send directions on how I can get where you are? Your friend, Charlie Brown.
I'm sorry to have to say it to your face, Lucy, but it's true. You're a very crabby person. Well, I know that your crabbiness has probably become so natural to you by now that you're just completely unaware of what is happening. But it's true just the same. You're a very crabby person, and you're crabby to just about everything that you meet. Now, I hope you don't mind my saying this, and I hope you take it in the spirit that it's meant. I think we should take every opportunity we have to know more about ourselves. You know, I think Socrates was very right when he said to know thyself. Well, I guess I've said enough. I hope I haven't offended you or anything.
Well, what's Socrates got to do with it anyway, huh? Who was she? Did she ever get to be queen? Tell me that. Did she ever get to be queen? Did she ever get to be queen? It was a he. No, consent.
Come on, Stevie, coming in there, back in the face. This is the new basketball.
Excuse me, Charlie Brown, but I was hoping you could answer the question for me.
Why, certainly, Lucy.
Well, I'm conducting a survey to enable me to know myself better, and the first question is, on a scale from 0 to 100, using the standard is 50 is average, 75 is above average, and 90 is exceptional, where would you rate me with regards to crabbiness?
Well, Lucy,
The ballots need not be named, and all answers will be held in the strictest confidence.
Still, Lucy, that's a very hard question to answer.
You may have a few moments to think it over, or we can get back to that question later if you like.
I'd like to get back to it, if you don't mind.
Certainly. The next question deals with character traits you may have observed. Would you describe Lucy Van Pelt as A, forceful, B, pleasing, or C, objectionable? Would that be A, B, or C, Charlie Brown? What would your answer be to that question, Charlie Brown? A, B, or C? What would your answer be, Charlie Brown?
I have to say A, Lucy, but
Forceful. I see. Just have to put a check mark in the letter A. Okay. Now, would you rate my ability to get along with other people as poor, fair, or great?
it depends a lot by what you mean by get along with other people.
You know, make friends, sparkle in a crowd, that sort of thing.
Do you have room for abstention?
Certainly, just put a check mark under none of the above. Okay, the certain question deals with physical appearance. In referring to my beauty, would you say that I was A, stunning, B, mysterious, or C, intoxicating?
Well, gee, Lucy, you look just fine to me.
Stunning. All right, I think it's time that we get back to that first question, Charlie Brown. On a scale from 0 to 100, using a surface 57, 75 is above.
Lucy, I remember the question.
Well,
51?
51 is your crabbiness rating for me. Very well then. Thank you for your time.
Certainly, Lucy. Anytime. It was a pleasure. Let's go, Snoopy.
Oh, just 1 minute, Charlie Brown. I have one more question. Is Lucy Van Pelt the sort of person that you would like to have president of your club or civic organization?
Sure. Yes. By all means, Lucy.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, who asked you? It's 51, none of the above. Schroeder was right. I can already feel myself being filled with the glow of self-awareness. Oh, excuse me, Sally. I would like you to answer a few questions for me.
110, C, poor, none of the above, no. And what are you going to do about the dent you made in my bicycle?
It's amazing how fast word of these surveys gets around. Well, Linus, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you a few questions. Sure, go ahead. Well, on a scale from 0 to 100, using a standard is 50 is average, 75 is above average, and 90 is exceptional, where would you rate me with regards to crabbiness? Here are my rates. That's not the question, but that's the answer. Come on, Linus, just answer the question.
Look, Lucy, I know that if I give you any kind of honest answer, then you're going to slug.
based on dishonest answers is like a house that is built on a foundation of sand. Would I be spending my time to conduct this survey if I did not expect complete candor in all responses? I promise not to slug you. Now, what would your crabbiness rating be for me?
95?
It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. Let's see, let me just add these two columns and then let's see what we've got. Schroeder was right. I'm a very crabby person. I'm a crabby person and everybody knows it. I've been spreading crabbiness everywhere I go. I'm a super crab. I wonder I have any friends at all or even associates. Where did I go wrong? How could I be so selfish?
What's wrong, Lucy?
Don't speak to me, Linus. I don't deserve to be spoken to. I don't deserve to breathe the air I breathe. I'm no good, Linus. I'm no good.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I don't deserve to go on living on the face of this planet. Lucy, give me just one reason why I deserve to go on living.
Well, for one, you have a little brother who loves you. Every now and then, I say the right thing.
Of course, it's surprising, but I'm sure Lucy knows she can't be crabby anymore.
Anymore.
Where is everyone? I told them to be here.
Told them to be here.
If we don't rehearse, we can't perform at the assembly
The
tomorrow.
assembly tomorrow.
Charlie Brown!
Charlie Brown!
Linus!
Linus!
Lucy!
Give me back my pencil, you blockhead.
No, not until you give me back my crayon.
That was my best pencil, you block. If you don't give me back my pencil, I'll tell Sally what you said about her.
Stop that! We've got to rehearse and you are late!
What did you say about being late?
Stop that!
I'm sorry I'm late,
There's
but
no time to be sorry! We've got to rehearse! Quiet! Now, remember this is a mood piece? We must paint a picture with music and words. And concentrate! Woo! Maestro. Okay. Remember, adagio con brio.
Oh, give me
was a dog first regarded as man's best friend?
happened right after the invention of cookies. My feet are tingling again. I feel like I just got to bite somebody before sundown, or I'll start raving back. Yet, I know society frowns on such an action. So what happens? I'm stuck with tingling ting!
Each family has a chain of commands. And do you know who's slowest on that chain? Yes. It's the dog. The dog's slowest. Do you understand that? I said, do you understand that?
They hate it when you stare at them like that.
Hey, Linus. What are you doing?
Lucy's teaching me, Charlie Brown. She says that a sister is responsible for the education of her little brother, so she's teaching me.
Come along, Linus. Do you see that tree? It is a fir tree. It's called a fir tree because it gives us fur or coats. It also keeps us full in the wintertime.
I never knew that before, Lucy. That's very interesting.
That is an elm tree. It's very little, but it will grow up into a giant tree. An oak, you can tell how old it is by counting its leaves.
Gosh, it's very interesting.
No, wait a minute, Lucy. I didn't mean to interfere, but like,
And way up there, those fluffy little white things, those are clouds. They make the winds blow. And way down there, those tiny little black things, those are bugs. They make the grass grow. That's right. They go around all day long, tugging and tugging at each tiny little seedling until it grows into a great tall blade of grass.
good grief.
That is a hydrant. Do you see it? They grow all over, and no one seems to know just how a little thing like that gives so much water. Do you see that bird? It's called an eagle. But since it's little, it has another name, a sparrow. And on Christmas and Thanksgiving, we eat them.
Lucy, how can you say that? I just can't say I think my week long outro wild.
Way up there, the little stars and planets make the rain that falls in showers. And when it's cold and winter is upon us, the snow comes up, just like the flowers.
Now, I know that's wrong. Snow doesn't come up, it comes down.
After it comes up, the wind blows it around so that it looks like it's coming up, but actually it comes up out of the ground. It comes up, Charlie Brown, like grass. Snow comes up.
Good grief.
Lucy, why is Charlie Brown banging his head against the tree?
To loosen the bark so that the tree will grow faster. Clouds can make the wind blow, bugs can make the grass grow. So, there you go. These are little known facts that now you know.
My summer clothes went off. It's summertime. Charlie Brown's dying to feed me. There I lie, all withering, all shallow and gone. And that's my supper dish. Empty. But that's alright. Can't remember. We'll know where we're at, go to the after school. Then he'll remember, and I'll rush out here to the doghouse, but it'll be too late. There will be nothing left but the drying carcass of the former friend who used to love to run and play. So
a whole minute with your supper.
Supper time! Supper time! Behold the people of pretending with my heart to our hunger! Behold the blood flag and voice that swing, and the songs to sing our lives!
There's no need for a big production. Just give Dylan off your child house seats.
It's summertime, yeah, it's summertime. Oh, it's summertime, very best time of day. It's summertime, and when summertime comes, takes something away. Well, bring on the soup dish, bring on the cup, bring on the bacon and fill the yard. It's summertime. La la la, la 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 la. Ba-di-ba-di-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, summertime. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Bring on the dog, bring on the ball, bring on the barrel and roll me over this supper. Supper, soup and rubber supper, soup and summertime. Wintertime's nice with the ice and snow. Summertime's nice with a place to go. Bedtime, overtime, and night till what they just can't hold. I can't do till summertime. Oh, yeah. Bring on the hammer, bring on the fun, clap your lungs, everyone, 'cause it's summer, summer, rubber, summertime.
No, can't you just sit down and eat your food quietly and calmly like any normal dog?
So, what's wrong with making mealtime joyous occasion?
Amen.
Well, I don't know, Linus. It looks like an airplane to me, the way that the lights are blinking on and off. Schroeder, is that an airplane or a star?
I think that's a star. It could be a satellite, or maybe even a planet.
It could be a satellite. I wonder.
Well, we're never going to find out by just sitting here.
Where are you going?
Over here to take a closer look.
I'd like to sit up here after supper time and hear the sounds of the night. But something seems to be missing. In my opinion, that is exactly what it needs.
I'm so happy. That little red-haired girl dropped her pencil today. It has teeth marks all over it. She nibbles her pencil. She's human. Maybe today hasn't been such a bad day after all. Happiness is finding a pencil.
Pizza with sausage, telling the time.
Happiness is learning to whistle.
Tying your shoe for the very first time.
Happiness is playing the drum in your own school band.
And happiness is walking hand in hand. Happiness is 2 kinds of ice cream.
Knowing a secret, climb a tree.
Happiness is 5 different crayons.
Getting a firefly, setting it free.
Happiness is being alone every now and then.
And happiness is coming home again.
Happiness is morning and evening, daytime and nighttime too. Or happiness is anyone and anything at all that's loved by you.
Happiness is having a sister, sharing a sandwich, getting along.
Happiness is singing together when day is through.
And happiness is those who sing with you.
Happiness is those who sing with
Happiness is morning and evening, daytime and nighttime too.
For happiness is anyone and anything at all that's loved by you.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Happiness is morning and evening, daytime and nighttime too. For happiness is anyone and anything at all that's loved by you. You're good man, Charlie Brown.
Happiness is anyone. Happiness is
Charlie Brown.